Jon Moxley wins it big. AEW unveils a brand new title, and so many Forbidden Door teases. I am GT Schwa. We are talking today about the June 8th, 2022 episode of AEW Dynamite. So much happened on this show. It wasn't as wall-to-wall stacked as the episode after Double or Nothing, but so few episodes are. This was still a fantastic show. Let's get right into it. The show opened up with the Casino Battle Royale. We needed to figure out who's the interim AEW champion while CM Punk is away. Getting fixed up. Side note, on this episode we learned that he has already had the surgery for his leg. It was a success. So thankfully we know that our man is going to be okay. That is good to hear. But we needed to figure out who is going to be going up against Jon Moxley at the end of the show in order to figure out who from AEW is competing from the interim world champion. And New Japan is going to be sending in a person after their show on Sunday. All of that will be happening on Double or Nothing. The Casino Battle Royale was so much fun. There were a lot of great spots. Can't go through them all, but a couple big things to note. First off, Eddie Kingston was crazy over in this crowd. He was the person that was getting chants throughout the entire show until, unfortunately, he got eliminated. And that was a running trend. It was the same with Darby. It was the same with a couple of the bigger names that I think a lot of people thought could theoretically win the interim belt. All of them got taken out in the first half, more or less. The Joker was Andrade. Good to see him back, but definitely not a mind-blowing unveiling of a person who could definitely win. And I think that was all by design, because, spoiler alert for this, we're just jumping straight to the end, Jon Moxley ended up winning his match against the winner against the Casino Battle Royale, Kyle O'Reilly. And knowing that Jon Moxley was going to be winning, it was a good idea to get all the people that fans would get really attached to winning out of the way early. The Wheeler Yutas and the Eddie Kingstons and the Darby Allins, people who theoretically really could be interim world champ. I am super happy about Jon Moxley having this opportunity. We'll talk about that more at the end. Couple other things to bring up really quickly. Swerve had a lot of heelish moments in this match. He ended up eliminating Keith Lee from behind, ended up doing the exact same to Darby, only to then get taken out, I believe, by Andrade or Kyle O'Reilly. But either way, it looks like we're starting to move towards a Swerve as a heel. I am super for that. Also, Keith Lee got some great stuff, and Ricky Starks got some great stuff. So much stuff in that opening match. Really enjoyed it. Immediately after, though, something really shocking, I would say, happened, which is that we learned that AEW is unveiling a brand new belt. And I'm sure a lot of you felt the same way if you were watching. I was immediately like, oh, trios belts, finally. We've been waiting on these. Only to unveil it's actually a singles men's belt, the All Atlantic Title. We don't know much about it, but we learned, hey, All Atlantic Title, we're having a tournament to figure out who the first champ is going to be. It starts tonight with Buddy Mathews versus Pac. And personally, I was like, okay. I'm not going to lie, this is a little confusing. We already have a mid-card singles belt. We have all the Ring of Honor belts. Trios titles made perfect sense. I guess we're waiting on Kenny Omega for that, but frankly, I really would have preferred to just get started with that, because there's so many acts and so many storylines in AEW that feel like they really can't get to their meat and potatoes until the trios division is up and running. Either way, looking at the tournament bracket, I don't have it in front of me right now, but there were a lot of big names on there. Malachi Black, Miro, and I know Miro is fighting Ethan Page. That'll be a very, very fun squash. But the match for tonight, which immediately followed the announcement, was Buddy Mathews versus Pac. The good of this, these two are freaking incredible. Both of them are fantastic. They had an amazing match. They are so athletic. Pac hitting the Black Arrow, when he does it, like for a split second, you're like, that man needs to hold the title. Like, I don't know what he needs to be holding, but he is absolutely jaw-dropping in the ring. He is fantastic. They had a very good match. And Pac did end up getting the win over Buddy Mathews. Had a stare down with House of Black versus Death Triangle. I believe it's Penta versus Malachi Black at some point in this tournament as well. I hope that they're just using the heat from their prior their prior feud with one another just to add some energy into the tournament. I hope this doesn't mean we're continuing the feud, because at this point we have had 2 pay-per-views of this feud. I'm ready for both teams to move on to something different. But either way, great match. Immediately after, we had Trent Baretta coming out and cutting a promo, basically saying, hey, I want another chance at FTR and the Ring of Honor belts. FTR came out, and side note, I am loving babyface FTR. I never thought it was going to work, but they are having so much fun. And on cue, here comes out Will Ospreay. The audience, you could tell it was half people that were insanely excited about that, half people who had no idea who this guy was, and I'm sure at home it was about the same. We're going to talk about that a little later, because I feel like AEW is dropping the ball a teeny bit on introducing these people from New Japan to the audience. I feel like there was a decent amount of confusion. Even I myself, I don't know a ton about New Japan. I know that Will Ospreay is a big, big deal. I know people are very excited about him being here. But I think they could be doing a bit of a better job letting the audience know who these people are and why they should care if they're not already tuned into New Japan. Regardless, though, he comes out, a bunch of his buddies jump in from all sides. They have a big beatdown on FTR and on Trent. I believe we are getting a 3-on-3 on Friday. That should be a lot of fun. I'm very excited for that. I'm excited for the build for Forbidden Door. Even though I don't know a lot of these people yet, I'm excited to be introduced to them and hopefully get to see a lot more of them in the future. So that was a lot of fun. Excited for that. After we had a face-off with the Undisputed Elite with O'Reilly and Bobby Fish and Adam Cole and William Regal. And man, I just love Regal doing promos as a manager. He's so intense, and telling Kyle O'Reilly that he's unfortunately going to have to call on him getting his head cracked open. And Kyle O'Reilly also had a fantastic promo, getting heated up, getting ready. I feel like as an audience, we all kind of know that Kyle wasn't going to win, but Kyle is such an amazing worker throughout. It's great to see him getting big opportunities in the company. But this immediately had went into Adam Cole going to the announce table for Hangman versus Finlay, which immediately told us that he was going to be having some kind of angle afterwards. But this was our first time seeing Hangman in action against a guy from New Japan, which was a lot of fun. It was a very good match. I think my big thing with Hangman that I've noticed is I just love his in-ring style. He is so fun, he is so fast, he is so hard-hitting. You know, he very rarely misses for me. I really enjoyed this match. And afterwards, he got the mic. I have been excited for this for a while, to hear what he has to say after losing the belt. But, unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of that. You know, he addressed the belt very slightly, but he basically said, I have a lot to say about the title. I'm not going to do it right now. And my first thought was like, why not? I aggressively want to hear about your thoughts about the title and what happened. But instead he moved the attention to Forbidden Door, calling out OKADA. He wants the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Hope I said that right. And OKADA, big deal. Very excited to see that match. Only for Adam Cole to cut in and basically say, hey, we don't even know if he's going to be champ at that point. Also, if anyone should have a chance to go for that championship, it is me. So we're probably getting Hangman versus Adam Cole 3 sometime in the build-up to Forbidden Door. Personally, I am much more interested in seeing Hangman in this position than Adam Cole. So I hope that Hangman wins, but I'm really enjoying that this is a consistent rivalry those two have. Hyped to see where it goes in the future. After that, Wardlow, my big man, Wardlow. I love that his entrance now starts with him just walking out with no music. I was hoping for his new music. Apparently he's getting a new entrance theme soon. But it is not out yet. But I was very excited to see him on the mic. He explains that he was not in the Battle Royale by design because, one, he has too much respect on Punk. He doesn't want to win the belt until he's winning it from Punk specifically, which I like. And secondly, because he has unfinished business on the TNT title. I am so freaking excited. Tony Khan, AEW, put the belt on Wardlow. The man deserves that title. He even brings up that, like, hey, last couple of months, that belt has been a mess. I will be the one to clean it up. I will be the one to make the TNT title great again. And I couldn't agree more. I think that he is doing fantastic work. I cannot wait to see what he has going on with this belt. Scorp came out limping still to sell the injury that he has going on. I am so excited for this match. It's going to be fantastic. We also had Mark Sterling in the back, and thankfully this episode unveiled that whole Mark Sterling versus Wardlow angle, maybe they changed it, but it seems like that was just a way to add an angle to fuel Wardlow up. He is having a 1-on-20 match against 20 security guards next week at the AEW Road Rager, I believe. I am so excited for that. It is going to be a 1-on-20 squash match. Wardlow is going to murder these men. We also had the Bucks in their bedroom, in their hotel room, talking about wanting to be the tag champs, only for the Hardys to just walk into their bedroom, which was very funny, saying, no, we want to be tag champs. Then Jurassic Express and Christian walking in, also into their bedroom and saying, hey, you want title, you want the title, how about we just have a 2-on-2-on-2 ladder match the entire time? Jungle Boy's in the back like, dude, well, why? No, this is a bad idea. Why are you doing this? I like how they're building the break between Jungle Boy and Christian bit by bit as best they can. That being said, I am way less interested in the Bucks or the Hardys having the belts. I want it to be off Jurassic Express. I want them on something new, but I don't want it on either of them. So I hope that's not where we're going. No matter what, it should be a fun time. After that, Rosa versus Marina Shafir. This match had no build, and I get that it was just a random match, but we literally, we had a 30 seconds of backstage interview that apparently happened earlier in the day that we couldn't fit in here. The match had no build. The audience was super dead, which that happens a lot with the women's matches, unfortunately, but this was just rough. This felt very rushed. It unfortunately was really one of the only two things with the women for the night. Toni Storm made the save at the end. I am much more interested in Rosa versus Storm. I hope that we start building this weekly like we are doing with the baddies who came next. We are having a match with Red Velvet and with Kris Statlander. They were messing up her name as Kristen Highlander, which is very funny. They are the best thing going on in the women's division right now. Every single week there's an escalation of the storyline, an escalation of the build. All of that is great. After that, we had Excalibur doing the Micro Machines, explaining everything happening over the next 2 weeks. Only things that I missed are that Hookhausen are going to be talking apparently on Rampage, and Eddie Kingston, who had a great backstage promo where he was yelling at the TV production team for trying to rush him. He's going to be having a match with Jake Hager. Finally, main event, Moxley versus O'Reilly. I already kind of touched on this. Moxley got the win. It was a fantastic match. Kyle O'Reilly is so good. I'm so happy he's in the company. And Mox, of course, got the big win. He's facing whoever wins on Sunday in New Japan, probably Tanahashi, for the AEW Interim title. Overall, it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. The negatives are the kind of consistent negatives for AEW. The women feel like an afterthought. The New Japan stuff could be done a little bit better, like in introducing it a bit better. And Moxley was the obvious but still very good and probably right choice for this Interim title. The All Atlantic tournament should be a lot of fun. There's a lot of great matches on there. Overall, this episode made me feel very excited and very hopeful for what's going to be happening for the next month of AEW. But what are your thoughts? Are you excited? Did you enjoy the episode? Are you frustrated? Please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what's going on. And if you missed it, definitely catch in very soon. I have really been enjoying the show. Everyone, I am GT Schwa. Thank you very much. I will see you all in the next one.